Take a look at all the marketing material that surrounds the Peugeot partner small van, and you'll see that Peugeot are constantly trying to hit those two messages of build quality and innovation. Now, it's actually quite a good looking van if you ask me, and it's built on the same platform as the Citroen Berlingo and the Vauxhall Combo and all the various trim levels that those vans come with. But does the partner do enough to differentiate itself from those two bedfellows? Well, I think the only way we're going to find that out is by giving it the Vanarama road test. Before we get started, I sincerely hope you enjoy this review, and if you do, don't forget to like it. Yes, give us a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and click that bell to get notified whenever we post new content just like this. And if you are in the market for a brand new van or a pickup truck, don't forget to head to vanarama.com and check out the deals. Now, let's start this review where we always do, at the front of the vehicle. Now, first impressions, well, from my point of view, very positive. I like this big black grille. I like the fact that the Peugeot badge is sitting right in the centre, because quite honestly, where else would they put it? But the thing that really stood out to me was the headlight clusters. I know, I get a little bit googly about them, but these ones look like fangs. I mean, look at these bits that just kind of jut out, and you've got these rain channels just here that drive all the water away from the surroundings of the headlights. I think they're very good, and I've driven it a few times. They are very powerful as well. This black plastic panel is very familiar. It's on the Citroen Berlingo and it's also on the Vauxhall Combo as well. But at the professional trim level on the Peugeot partner, you get the fog lights. Really good addition. The 16-inch steel wheels are right here. Those are very tough, and they do have a cover on. Now look, if you lease a vehicle, fair wear and tear will cover you for damage, but it's nice to know that you've got that extra layer of protection right there. On the outside, you've also got body-coloured wing mirrors, and you've got some body-coloured side panels here as well. And you know what? I like the look. It's very nice, it's very compact, it's a little bit squat, but that's the outside. Let's get inside and have a look what the cabin looks like. So here we are in the front of the Peugeot partner. Now, I've sat in a few PSA group vans, and I've got to say, all of them are very comfortable, and the partner is no exception. The driver's seat is very nice. You can tilt the seat and you can also adjust it backwards and forwards, which means, you know, you'll always have ample legroom no matter how big you are. We've had some very tall people in here and they've said it's just as comfortable. Okay, so first things first. First thing you are going to lay your hands on is the steering wheel, and well, it is quite small. It looks like something off a child's toy, but that's only because it's been flattened at the top and the bottom, meaning you can actually turn it quite a way without knocking your knees. That's a very nice thing to have. Now, there are no controls on the steering wheel, which is probably why it looks so small. So where are all those controls? You expect to have them, so where are they? Well, they're on the stalks just behind it. On the left, you've got your speed limiter and cruise control, and down here, you've got your menu and additional functionality controls down there, which allow you to control what's on the infotainment screen and also what's on the driver information display in the dashboard instrumentation just there. So let's move there. The dashboard instrumentation is actually quite nicely recessed. It feels quite a long way from you and kind of gives the interior a bit of a sporty feel, which I personally really like. You've got your speedo on the left, rev counter on the right, you've got your oil temp gauge up the top here next to your fuel gauge, and in the middle is a nice driver information display which shows you everything from a digital readout of your miles per hour and also your miles per gallon, your fuel consumption, how far you've been driving, your miles, all the stuff you'd expect. Just in front of the dashboard instrumentation is a nice little cubby hole. I'll get to the rest of the storage later, but I just want to point this one out while we're here. It's not the biggest cubby you'll ever find, but to be quite honest with you, you'll fit a Lion bar in there absolutely no problem. I love Lion bars, that's why I said it. I mean, to be fair, if you're a drifter person, go for it. Stick a drifter in there or a Topic. I don't know, whatever you like. Anyway, to the left of the dashboard, you've got this nice big infotainment screen. And I have to say, the PSA Group's infotainment screens are really nice, really clear to use. All the buttons that you'd expect are exactly where you'd expect them to be. And you can hook up your smart device, your phone or your tablet through USB connections down here. And you can also use Bluetooth, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay as well. There's loads of functionality on here, including your app settings, your general settings, your phone, you've got music, including DAB radio, you've got your car settings, and when you've hooked a smartphone up, you've got your satellite navigation as well, which is really nice. Just below that screen, you've got your hazard light button and your full lock button as well, and I think they're in a really convenient space. Some vehicles these days hide the hazard lights down here somewhere, so you've got to reach down for a button just on this console down here, but right here is, in my opinion, one of the perfect places to put them because they're just exactly where you'd expect them to be. Below that, you've got your air conditioning and climate controls. They're all very nice functional buttons, and you've also got your button down here for your heated wing mirrors. You've got your fan speed dial on the left, and you've got your temperature dial on the right down here. Now look, a nice cubby hole, and do you know what, that is quite deep. You'll fit, do you know what, I think at a push you'd probably fit a wrap or something like that in there. So, sorry, I'm all food focused today. Below climate control, you've got this nice deep cubby, which, do you know what, I think you could probably fit a supermarket wrap in there. I'm very food focused today, absolutely loving it. And to the left of that, you've got what looks like a very small cup holder. That's actually an optional extra you can have added. It's called IntelliGrip, and it's basically adjustable traction control, but it's not there, and you get this nice recess which I think would be perfect for a takeaway espresso cup. That'll keep you on your toes all day. You've actually got a little bit of traction control here, which basically just allows you to turn it off and on. That's useful if you get on some icy weather. You might want to turn traction control off, or if you're going onto gravel or something like that, you might just want to take it off just to give yourself a little bit more control. To the right of that cubby hole is a coin holder. Now, you don't see those too often, but it's nice to see it. I like it. That's very, well, classic, I think is the way to describe it. Classic. Just below that, you've got your electric handbrake, and of course, because this does have the two-seater bench seat, you don't really have room for a handbrake, so it's nice and convenient to have your electric handbrake right there. The gear stick sits on this console that juts out, and I mean, to be honest, yeah, this is a three-seater, but that person in the middle is going to have to watch their knees because of this console, but it's not a deal breaker. You're usually going to be quite all right just having that one person on the passenger seat right here. Anyway, onto the gear stick. Gear stick is very nice to hold. I think the PSA group have done a good job with their gear stick. Some of them have the notches cut into the side. I don't like that too much, so I like the fact that the Peugeot partner has nice smooth sides. Let's go on to general storage. You've got a cup holder on the right of the dashboard up here, and you've got another one just in front of the passenger seat as well. You've got that cubby just in front of the dashboard instruments, and bizarrely, and this is just a personal thing, you've got a bit of cubby storage behind the infotainment screen, but as you can see, I'm having a bit of trouble getting to it. I'm not entirely sure what the plan was there, but it's extra storage, and hey, extra storage is great. The glove box, while it looks small on the outside, it's actually deceptively deep. It's got kind of two steps, and on this first step you've actually got an aux-in socket and a USB socket as well, which gives you just another bit of connectivity. While the driver can be charging their phone and hooking it up to the infotainment screen right here, your passenger can be charging their phone from this one right here. And actually there's another step that goes back even further. So that is really great storage. Just below that, you've got a nice little cubby again. It doesn't have much of a lip on it, so some things might fall out. Just watch what you put in there. And then below that, you've got another cubby, which goes quite deep, but this one does actually have a lip, so that'll probably keep things all nice and safe. You've also got quite a lot of legroom for your passenger there, and that's nice to have as well in a small van of this size. Now, I'm going to show you what this seat does a little bit later when we get onto the loading bay. This one actually drops forward, extending the loading bay by a clear metre. So it extends his loading bay's length from 2 metres to 3. But before we go there, I just want to show you this. These are the bits I love on the interior of the PSA Group vans. Got your fold down writing desk. Now this one's a little bit different. Some of the other ones we've seen in PSA Group vans, they slot out of an armrest. This one is actually the whole top of this second passenger seat drops down, and this bit slides forward and it rotates out, meaning you can put whatever you need on there. You can put your documents, you could have your lunch on there. You've even got some room back here to store some pens. It's nice. I think they've thought it out very nicely and made very good use of the minimal space that small vans sometimes offer in the cabin. Well done. So there we go. That all pops up nicely and neatly. So, with the cabin done, let's head to the back. Now, the back end of the Peugeot partner is, well, almost exactly like you'd expect on a small van. You've got your two doors, they open up to 90 degrees, and if you disengage the slam locks, they open up to a full 180 degrees, which is great. Now, the opening width is 1.2 metres, its height is 1.2 metres. Between the arches, the width is 1.2 as well, which is great, and it actually extends out to 1.5 metres. The length is 1.8 metres, which is great for a small van. But the increased flexibility of the partner is shown by this. If you open this hatch right here, and you drop the passenger seat like this, you get an extra metre of length, which is perfect. So that extends up to 3 meters, and the metal back of the passenger seat means that you won't dent it and you won't ruin it. And with a payload of over 1,000 kilograms, the Peugeot partner really sets itself apart from the competition. And speaking of the competition, let's take a look at some of the other small vans available in the market sector right now. First up, the Mercedes-Benz Citan. Now, some people say it's not up to the usual Merc levels of luxury, but hey, I'd still drive one. And it's also got that whole, is it really a small van thing going on too? Next, the Nissan NV200. It's got a bit of an odd shape and a bit of an odd size. It's neither a proper small van nor a medium van. Do you know, I think there's something in the water. The Renault Kangoo. Now, this small van has been around for a while and fleet users love them, but it's got to be time for an update soon, right? And what about the Fiat Doblo Cargo? Now, with payloads of 1,000 kilograms and high roof options, it really makes this van a stronger contender than you might think at first. The VW Caddy, okay, it looks awesome, it's user-friendly and its payload is high as well, but, and there is a but, you do pay a premium for all of that. The Citroen Berlingo and the Vauxhall Combo. Now, these are the partners' brothers. Say hi to the whole family. Each one is built on the same platform, but somehow still stands out. How on earth did they do that? And finally, the Ford Transit Connect. Its engine is incredibly economical and powerful, and the cabin, well, oh my, the cabin, it is proper comfy. So there you go, small vans literally come in all shapes and sizes. The partner may have the rest of the pack licked with its good looks, but the rest of the field is filled with plenty of variety in terms of user friendliness and quirky features. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell to get notified whenever we post more content just like this. And if you want to find out what the top 5 things on the Peugeot partner are that I would give a big thumbs up to, click the link. So there you go, all the competition that the Peugeot partner is facing in the small van sector right now. But I mean, who gives a fig about the competition when we could take this out on the road and give it a proper road test? The Peugeot partner at the professional trim level comes with a 1.6 litre diesel engine. It's Euro 6.1 emission standard, which is absolutely brilliant and should put anyone's mind at rest. You don't want to be paying tax when you don't have to, and to be honest, having a Euro 6.1 emission standard engine means that you're well within ULEZ and clean air zone limitations. And to be quite honest, you can tell it's a 1.6 litre engine. For a van this size, which is, you know, kind of difficult to peg. It is a small van, but it doesn't feel like one, and it doesn't really look like one from the outside. In actual fact, what I find is that when I look at these PSA Group small vans, I do have that whole, oh, is it a medium van, is it a small van kind of moment. And the 1.6 litre diesel engine really, I mean, it just makes mincemeat of the road. It feels like you've got a lot of power ready to be put into action whenever you need it. I'm sitting here quite comfortably in 4th at the moment, and every time I put my foot down on the accelerator, there's a definite feeling of guts beneath the bonnet. And to be quite honest with you, from my point of view, that's just everything that PSA Group are trying to do with their commercial vehicles right now. They're trying to make them feel like a home from home on the inside, lovely and comfortable with all the bells and whistles that you'd expect in a modern van, and also give you so much power available to do whatever you want with it. Now, this vehicle is capable of carrying a payload of 1,050 kilograms, as I said when we were going through the loading bay, and you can tell that that's fully possible without any real effect on your acceleration, on your sustaining of speed, and that is thanks to this excellent build quality. PSA Group have done a very good job with everything from the inside to the outside. They've thought of it all. An engine of that size doesn't have to be in a vehicle of this size, but they know that in order to get that payload, it needs to have a powerful engine. For a small van as well, you're getting closer to the size of a car, so you do feel that little bit lower to the road. There's still a little bit of height, which is very good. I mean, the ground clearance on this vehicle is not massive, but it's enough to make you feel like you're quite high. And the EMP2 platform that it's built on, of course, raises you just that little bit higher as well. The seat, of course, you can adjust for height if you want to, but the driving position allows you some really good visibility. I told you earlier that the dashboard instrumentation is nicely recessed, and that means that it's never obstructing your view. In fact, the blister of black plastic that it's hiding under doesn't actually impose any higher than the end of the inside of the vehicle. It's almost flush where I'm sitting with the start of the windscreen, which is great because you don't want to lose visibility even when you're driving in a small van like this. I mean, it's especially apparent when you're driving a large vehicle when your views are obstructed, but it's nice to know. I think these are the sorts of things that are underrated when you get into a van. You should check these things. Is visibility good? Is it clear? Well, in the Peugeot partner, yes it is. In all honesty, it actually feels like the vehicle is sort of planted to the road, which is quite reassuring actually with a van of this size. Corner control is excellent. I've been through a couple of corners which at this time of year, of course, you expect they're going to be knee deep in puddles. And I've been through a few corners now and I've just splashed through it. I've not really felt any sort of squeaky bum moments where I thought, oh, I'm going to aquaplane or I'm going to lose control. It's nice. It's a good vehicle. Very, very nice and easy to control. I tell you what, I can think of worse places to be sitting right now than in the front of a Peugeot partner. It's a nice thing. People always ask me, how on earth do you get so passionate about vans? And it's actually, well, it's very easy. You just have to look at all the little things, the little touches. Those are the things that make the biggest difference. It's got a good engine, it's got a good loading bay, it's functional, but the cockpit is comfortable, the seat is nice, I'm at a good height, I feel comfortable, my legs don't feel like they're cramped, I haven't got any aches in my ankle while I'm pushing the accelerator. Changing gears is almost effortless. The gear stick is nice to use. In fact, it's a really nice thing to just hold on to, resting my hand. Yeah, sure, I mean, it might be nice to have an armrest, but I don't miss it because I don't know, I just feel comfortable. It's all quite nice. My knee is resting up against the center console in a very comfortable position. I don't know what else people look for in vehicles. Write them down on a postcard. Is it the lashing points? Is it this? Is it that? I want to know. Because I can just tell you the things that I notice when I hop into the front of these vehicles. And those are things I notice straight away. I guess the simple summary is that I've now been in quite a lot of the PSA Group's new line of vans, and I've yet to find one that I've gotten into and haven't felt comfortable and in control of. That says a lot. While I may not be shouting about how the interior is the best thing I've ever sat in, I just don't think that's necessarily everything you have to worry about with a van. Yes, the visibility is great, it's a good comfortable drive, all the stuff that I've listed off and told you about how much I enjoy sitting in the front of these vehicles. I think the point is though that it's not that I'm necessarily looking forward to sitting in a PSA Group van, but if someone tells me, oh, the PSA Group, it's the Peugeot partner that you've got to review next, then, oh, cool, good, I know where I am with the PSA Group van. I think that's the real key when it comes to talking about platform sharing. You know what you're going to get. There are no nasty surprises. There's only good surprises, because between this and the next one, there's always going to be change. There's always going to be something slightly different. That's what's exciting about them. This is also why I get accused of being way too into vans. And now I'm kind of listening to myself talking, kind of get it. So to everyone in the office, I get it, I hear it. I know that I sometimes get a little bit too evangelical about vans. So yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I understand. I get it. There's also one more thing I've got to tell you. When Peugeot were making this van on top of the PSA Group platform, the fact that it has a 17-litre AdBlue tank was probably something that, well, I don't know, some designer somewhere was probably quite concerned with it, but other people aren't. But anyone thinking about getting one should have a think about that. 17 litres. Most pickup trucks these days have around 21 litres, which means you've got about 12,000 miles. So in the Peugeot partner, 17 means you've probably got around 8,000 to 9,000 miles before you need to fill your AdBlue tank again. And depending on how much you drive in a year, that could be it. That could be your once a year fill. Once a year you just fill the AdBlue tank with 17 litres and you're done. That's pretty cool. So, how do we finish this one? Well, I think the Peugeot Partner is an excellent small van. It may be a little bit of a mixed bag in the cabin, but combined with the excellent loading bay, you've got a great all-rounder package right here. You know, the more I review PSA Group vans, the more I grow to love them. And I bet all the money in my pocket against all the money in yours that if you drove one, you would feel the same way too. Do you know what? I've got nothing else to say. I'm done. End X. All I can say is check them out. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe to the channel and click the bell to get notified whenever we post new content just like this. And if you're interested in seeing some more videos just like this one about other vans, click the links.